Hi guys, Mr. Inhibitor here. Well, today is going to be a bit different because I've actually got a trio of movies I'm going to be showing you. Two of these movies are pretty well known, one of them I don't think is as well known. We're going to start with that one, even though I'm actually just going to be showing you in the order that I saw these movies. I ended up liking all three of these movies, surprisingly. I figured that I was going to hate one of them, or at least be kind of turned off by it or whatever. So, first one is The Mummy, the one made in 1999 with Brendan Fraser. At least I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. I'm not going to search a lot. So, anyways, The Mummy. So basically in this movie you've got a bunch of people trying to dig up a treasure, but while they're there, they unleash a mummy by breaking a curse or uttering a verse that would break the curse, and then they spend the rest of the movie trying to stop the mummy and all that while handling a couple of personal problems within a select few people. So, what did I think of the movie? I was actually surprised by what happened in the movie. I loved the humor and all that, all the locations. I was amazed at all that set work, and you gotta remember, they made this movie 13 years ago, and yet, what they did that was pretty ingenious, because, like, they don't really use the same location more than once in the movie, you know, when they're first featuring it. I mean, like, yeah, they do show those stair places more than once, but it's used for different purposes, and also the, antechamber where the mummy is trying to raise his girlfriend from the dead. Well, it looks completely different. Things have collapsed and all that, and the treasure room, they're showing it from different angles. It's all well done. They don't really use the same place more than once, like I said, and yeah. What else? How the film moved around, that kind of surprised me, because, like, when I went into this, I assumed that, like, all of the, trying to stop the mummy and all that was going to take place either within the, temple-ish kind of thing, or within the, broken city and all that, but I was surprised at how much of the movie actually took place outside of there. That really shocked me. All the sound effects, a couple of them were cheesy, I'll admit, but in a way, they kind of like show the personality of the mummy. I can't pronounce his Egyptian name, so I'm not gonna even try and do that, because, like, putting his face into that, wall of sand coming at Brendan Fraser and the other guys, and then showing his facial expressions, it's showing part of its personality. And I'm amazed at how much they try to give the mummy and his girlfriend personality and unique fighting styles. I thought that that was very creative, utilizing those books, ancient Egyptian monuments, how they use characters that you don't think are going to be that important, how they'll get killed in all these different ways and all that. You know, I thought that was all just great, but of course, with every movie, there's a couple of issues that I have with it, but they aren't really that many. They don't ever really seem to give a good reason why Brendan Fraser, at the beginning of this, you know, is in prison. All we get is, like, he wanted to have a good time. That's it? Oh, no. Also, when, like, Brendan Fraser, it's easier for me to call him Brendan Fraser than, like, oh, Colonel and all that. Yeah. So, like, when Brendan Fraser is combating Benny and all that, I mean, like, several times that they're doing it, I'm like, why aren't you, you know, shooting him? You've got guns and all that. You know he's gonna keep being a thorn in your side. You can take out one of the bad guys, but he just doesn't. What's up with that? And, the old librarian dude, you know, just fighting all those guys there. Well, he didn't have to stay behind. There was perfect opportunity for him to duck under the cover, the manhole, and then either try and pull it back or just slip out through the sewers, because it would take a lot longer for the, mob to chase them. And then also bringing back the, other guy, the guy with the black beard and all that, they make it seem like he's going to be having a death stance, and then he just is revealed to be alive, well, it does make sense that he's alive, because how else would he, like, be able to, like, narrate the movie? But I don't know, it just seemed like something that they just decided to do. Hmm? Hmm. But on the whole, I thought it was a good movie, a very enjoyable movie. You can watch it with your brain off and watch it with your brain on, appreciating the tributes to Egyptian society and all that, and looking at the acting in general, well, it's all very good. It definitely looks like it was set in the time that it's set in. I'm pretty sure it's the 30s and whatnot. What do I give this out of 5? I'm kind of a bit torn between a 4 and a 4.5. As of right now, I think I'll just give it a 4, but it could go to either rating if you establish a good continuity on my rating scale. You can decide for yourself, or maybe you'll just give it a whole different rating if you didn't like this movie at all. Alright, now we're going into the next movie. We got the first X-Men movie. Yeah, I figured it was high time I finally got into the X-Men movies, because I had seen X-Men Wolverine a couple of times over the years, but I had never seen any of the other X-Men movies. So, like, I wasn't ever able to, like, identify with people saying that Wolverine has a few continuity errors or isn't really a good follow-up, so pardon me. I finally decided to see it, and I'm really glad I did, because let me tell you, this is an amazing movie. I can totally understand why this movie helped birth the superhero movie in one way or another. Because just what they did in here really was just great. I mean, like, it looked pretty awesome. The emotional depth that these characters have and the emotions that you get are just awesome. There's this feeling of anticipation that something is going to happen, and something does. Magneto's plot is just very creative. I really thought that was a good plan and an excellent use of Rogue, because, like, at first glance you don't think that Rogue really is going to be that much of a character, but what they did with her was just phenomenal. I loved Rogue. She was just amazing in this movie, and the chemistry she has with Wolverine, now that is good. And Hugh Jackman, just, oh my god, I don't even have to describe it. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. That's all I have to say. Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, he fits that role very well. Because, like, let's face it, since Patrick Stewart was Picard in Star Trek, he already has the good leader feel to him, and he can portray, like, almost any age with barely any makeup done, given the fact that he's bald and has a kind of simple face, because, like, this is me trying to get to him. Now, of course, I've got the hat and the hair, but whatever, enough of that. All the other superheroes that they got in there, they have real good personalities, real good use of their powers. It's all just well done. I really enjoyed it. Although, I do have to kind of criticize on the characterizations of Jean Grey and Cyclops. Because, like, Jean Grey, well, I just don't feel like we get that much out of her. I know she becomes more prominent in the next two movies, but in this one, I'm just like, I don't know. And then, like, Cyclops. Now, he's supposed to be the second in command and also be, like, a voice of reason for the X-Men, based on what I know of the X-Men. I haven't really read that many comics for the X-Men or seen any animated TV shows, but, like, I just picture Cyclops as a very reasonable person, someone who can work with a bunch of other people, and in this movie, well, Wolverine said it best, he's a dick! Yeah, he's just a jerk in this movie. Really? I mean, like, Wolverine's been a bit of a jerk also, but Cyclops did it first. Uh-huh. Yeah. So, like, I'm pretty sure I know that he really only gets worse in the next two movies, but just... Yeah, Cyclops in this movie, I just didn't like him at all. And I'm not exactly looking forward to see what they do with him in the next two movies. That's basically the only thing I'm dreading. Oh, and having seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then looking at what they do with Sabretooth in this movie, I'm like, odd. I mean, like, they do take, like, how Sabretooth in this movie was holding the dog tags and then creating a bit of a relationship with Wolverine, but it's only on Sabretooth's end. Now, to be fair, Wolverine does have his mind, destroyed, basically, due to the bullet that happens at the end of X-Men Origins, but you would just think that, I don't know. I think what they're trying to do to tie it in, what they, well, just the connection between the two movies is fine. I mean, like, I know it's not entirely fair to compare X-Men Origins to this movie and all that, because what you actually should do is say that X-Men Origins is the movie that has the holes, and not this movie, but I'm just saying. I know X-Men 2 does a little bit more to get into Wolverine, so I look forward to see what they do with him in there, just to try and explain his origin. I'd love to see that. And we get into the third movie now, which is the first Transformers movie. Now, I'm going to have to go into some explanations here. First of all, I'm going to need to defend myself here. Pardon me. A lot of you guys out there, I know for a fact, have extremely bad things to say about Michael Bay, Shia LaBeouf, and Megan Fox. So it's a pretty sure name's Megan Fox. I keep forgetting her name. Sorry. Ugh, there's too many stars out there that you need to remember. But do I hate Michael Bay? No, actually, because I'm going to be quite honest with you. I enjoyed this movie, more on that later. I enjoyed Armageddon, I enjoyed The Rock. I haven't seen any of his other movies yet, but I'm looking forward to checking out at least the next Transformers movies. I don't know if I'm going to investigate some of the other ones of his, but... whatever, I've enjoyed his movies. Shia LaBeouf, I don't think he's the biggest jerk on the planet. Is he a great actor? No. But is he, like, the biggest jerk on the planet that some of you call him? No. Although, let me tell you, Wall Street, where money dies... I don't know, Wall Street 2? Pfft. Yeah, that movie sucked. Yeah, he did not have to do that. Ugh. And Megan Fox, well, this is the first movie I've seen her in, so I can't tell you guys anything about her. So, going into this movie, I gotta admit, I didn't really have completely high expectations for this movie. I expected to be entertained by it, because, like, I don't know anything, really, about Transformers other than these movies, because these movies alone are what kind of got me into Transformers. And really, truth be told, I honestly think I'm just going to see the movies and not really do anything else. I mean, like, I know it's a well-established franchise and all that, yeah, but we're not here to talk about my relationship with the Transformers, we're here to talk about the movie. So I wasn't expecting to be too entertained by this movie, and actually I was surprised by how much I was entertained, but also I was impressed by, how to describe this... well, just how well done I thought it was, because, what they did with the robots in this movie really was creative, because, like, Optimus Prime here, what they did with him was good, because, he does have that, bit of a, leadership quality to him, the bits where they're trying to show emotion onto his face, where he's talking to Shia LaBeouf, or Megatron. That's well done. I'm amazed that they were able to get emotion onto his face. Always try their best. What they did with that was good. Giving all of those robots very distinct personalities, I'm amazed at how well they did that. And then giving them the moral code, that's good also. How do I think about the human acting? Well, I know a lot of you guys criticize, like, thin character development on the human side. Well, first of all, it's an action movie, so you can't expect that much characterizing. It's like, the federal agent, he has to, like, defend, his code of ethic kind of a thing, because one, he doesn't understand what's going on there. He thinks Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox are mad. And three, well, he's got a stoic personality by default, even if he wasn't part of the Section 5, 7, it's one of the two, it's 7. So, what they do is, it's fine. Shia LaBeouf's character, well, you can't totally develop a character like him over the course of one movie, and especially the way that this movie is set up, it just doesn't happen. He's basically the catalyst for everything, how everything ties together. So, that's fine. Megan Fox, I honestly don't have any problems with her. In fact, I just really loved her character in this movie, because it's one of the reasons Shia LaBeouf is trying to do all this this stuff, for one thing. And I love how much she, tries to help Shia LaBeouf and the robots, like going out there, dragging Bumblebee through all the wreckage. That takes guts. I like that. And then also giving her a bit of a dark past and all that. Kind of unnecessary, but it's good for the character. And then just everyone else, I really don't have any characters that I hate. All the visual effects and what they do with each machine, it's very creative. And I like it, but what nitpicks have I got with this movie? Well, when the little robot is trying to disguise itself as a stereo in the middle of Air Force One, well, do you think that somebody is really gonna go, wait a minute, what's a stereo doing right here and all that? I'm surprised no one notices the stereo. No one think that that's a bit odd. Now, disguising itself as a cell phone just lying on the ground, now that is good, but I found it a little strange that Megan Fox doesn't pull it out and just try and do anything with that. What else? Optimus Prime at the end of the movie, he's saying, like, we've decided to create a new home and all that. Well, that doesn't totally make sense to me. I mean, sure, the whole planet is basically destroyed and all that, but, like, what? Why Earth and all that? And then also, Bumblebee at the beginning of the movie, you know, trying to turn, like, on and off based on, Shia LaBeouf's position with Megan Fox and all that, and then those choice of songs, do you really know what's going on in his head that much? I mean, like, it's supposed to be humorous, and let me tell you, it is funny, but, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So, I'll give this one a 4 out of 5. I bet a lot of you think I'm highly overrating it, but trust me, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm sure that when I come to Revenge of the Fallen, I'll like it less than this movie, and I'll probably think it's just a brainless action movie, but I really think this is a good movie, and if you guys hate on this movie, I just really can't identify with you. I mean, like, well, first of all, if you're like a person who grew up with like all the animated stuff and all that stuff, and then you don't like this movie, I can kind of understand you based on that. But if you didn't grow up and only hate this movie because you hate Michael Bay, I think you're being kind of just narrow-minded. Oh shoot, I never told you what I think this should receive. 4.8. I take off the point 0.2 based on just Jean, Grey, and Cyclops. So on this take me.
No, well, not bad.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this trio of reviews. See you next time, guys.